The station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Straight ahead here on DC News Now at 10, the latest on the 17-year-old shot and killed by Park Police this weekend and the close call for a homeowner. Plus, less waiting for trains this week. Starting tomorrow, how this will impact your morning and evening commutes. And while the Maryland men's basketball team is out, the women are still in it to win it. We'll have a live report on their road to the Sweet 16 as March Madness heats up. But first, here's meteorologist Scott Sumner with a look ahead.
And the weather's heating up too here, although right now it is downright chilly and it's going to be a cold night overall. We'll talk about Monday morning's lows and what to expect for the rest of the week ahead, coming up with my 7-day forecast.
All right, thanks, Scott. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 10. I'm Annalisa Gale. New details tonight about the 17-year-old shot and killed by U.S. Park Police on Saturday morning. DC police identified him as 17-year-old Delanio Martin. Police shot him during a confrontation involving what Park Police say was a stolen car. A pursuit ended when the teen slammed into a home on 36th Street Northeast. The homeowner telling our Dave Laval he feels lucky to be alive tonight. He has the latest.
Antonio Gibbs captured these images as D.C. and U.S. Park Police tended to 17-year-old Delanio Martin. The teen crashed into Gibbs' home along 36th Street Northeast Saturday morning after a pursuit.
They said, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. And then one of the cops, they walked around and they said, oh my gosh, he's already dead.
Park Police say they tried to stop Delanio, who drove what they believe to be a stolen car. At some point during the pursuit, Park Police say one of its officers became trapped in the car, while another got dragged by it. That's when the officer inside the car shot and killed the teen.
He hit this, he airborne and went straight into the house. Next thing I know, I heard something go boom.
The car struck a storage unit attached to Gibbs's home.
I had so much stuff in that unit that prevented the car from coming any further into the unit.
Gibbs left the unit just seconds before the car slammed into it.
It didn't even hit me to realize I could have died, not until my sons were able to get through the barricade and walk up to me and say, Daddy, are you okay? And it hit me then like, oh my gosh, I could have died.
In Northeast, Dave Laval, DC News Now.
The two Park Police officers suffered non-life-threatening injuries. A gun was found inside the vehicle moments after the crash. The D.C. Police Internal Affairs Division is leading the investigation into the shooting. Well, this week, all eyes are on New York following former President Donald Trump's comments in a social media post. In it, he says he is expecting that he will be arrested on Tuesday following an investigation into alleged hush money paid. Eileen LaPalmer joins us with what that could mean and the response from NYPD and Trump's attorney.
All is quiet right now outside of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and criminal court here, but that could all change come Tuesday. Former President Trump putting out on Truth Social that he expects to be arrested and is calling for protests. An early Saturday morning social media post from former President Trump starts with, "Our nation is now third world and dying." On Truth Social, Trump repeats the claim that the 2020 presidential election was stolen and goes on to say that, quote, now illegal leaks from a corrupt and highly political Manhattan District Attorney's Office makes it clear that he, quote, will be arrested on Tuesday of next week. Protest. Take our nation back.
It feels great.
It comes just days after former Trump attorney and fixer Michael Cohen testified before a grand jury, hearing evidence that Trump allegedly ordered hush money to be paid to porn star Stormy Daniels. The Manhattan DA's office is not commenting on a possible Trump arrest. On News Nation this week, Trump's current attorney said this when asked about a possible Trump indictment.
It's becoming more probable, I think, now. But the one thing I still hold on to is hope that justice will prevail, that the district attorney's office won't stoop to the level.
A former president being indicted is something that we've never seen before.
Alan Sanders, a professor emeritus at St. Peter's University, says Trump's social media post Saturday is an attempt
to get ahead of the news and try to frame it in a way that benefits him. It's also a way to engage in fundraising. Constitutionally, theoretically, hypothetically, indictment or imprisonment does not disqualify one from the presidency or indeed from any federal office.
As for Trump's call for people to protest, Pix 11 reached out to the NYPD and the mayor's office. In a statement, Press Secretary Fabian Levy said, quote, in coordination with other local, state, and federal law enforcement, the NYPD always remains prepared to respond to events happening on the ground and keep New Yorkers safe.
Hopefully that this does not happen, that this is not a situation that gets out of hand.
Former senior Homeland Security and law enforcement official for New York State, Michael Balboni, tells Pix 11 law enforcement across the country will be monitoring social media and working to prevent a repeat of January 6th when Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol.
Who's talking about what? When are they talking about? But there's also other things. The surrounding counties. They can tell who's getting on the trains. You know, what are they doing? What are people saying as they're waiting in line? If they come up from the subways, what's going on? This will take a coordinated effort between, NYPD, Secret Service, FBI.
And we reached out to former President Trump's current attorney for more information on whether or not there is an indictment, or if there is, whether Trump would be allowed to surrender. We did not get a response. Reporting from Lower Manhattan, Eileen LaPalmer, News Nation.
And right now, former Vice President Mike Pence is speaking out about the possibility that the former president could be indicted this week. He talked about it with reporters in Iowa on Saturday after a foreign policy forum.
It really is. I think it's going to. I think many Americans are taken aback at the unprecedented indictment of a former president, but also the fact that the Manhattan DA, in the midst of a crime wave in New York City, it says that indicting the former president is his highest priority. It tells you everything you need to know about the liberal left in this country. The American people here in Iowa and my home Indiana, around the country, are focused on record inflation, a crisis at our border, high energy prices, the war in Ukraine, threats from the Chinese military, and how we're going to respond to all of that. And yet, here we go again.
Now, earlier this month, the former VP said, quote, history will hold Donald Trump accountable when discussing the January 6th insurrection at the annual Gridiron Club dinner here in the district. Well, developing now, Frederick County police are investigating a deadly stabbing on North Market Street. Police responded to the 400 block shortly after 1 a.m. on Saturday. That's where they found the victim with multiple stab wounds. They believe this was a targeted attack. So far, no arrests have been announced. Also in Frederick County, police are investigating a shooting that left one person injured. It happened in the 100 block of West All Saints Street at around 4:30 p.m. on Saturday. That man who was shot in the leg is expected to be okay. Police believe that incident was also a targeted attack. No arrests have been made. And in Anne Arundel County, Maryland State Police are investigating a three-vehicle crash that left one person dead last night. Police say that the incident happened around 9:30 p.m. on the outer loop of I-695 West. The driver who died has been identified as 26-year-old Deja Charvon May, who is from Baltimore. Well, right now, the Biden administration is outlining new efforts to close the employment and wage gap between men and women. Raquel Martin has a look at the proposals.
In the face of data showing the persistent pay gap between men and women, the Biden administration is launching new efforts to give more women a leg up in the workforce.
It's a really exciting moment, I think, for us and for families across the country.
S.J. Glenn and Wendy Chun-Hoon lead the Labor Department's Women's Bureau.
The opportunity to influence this equation is actually right now.
They say after Congress passed bills investing billions into infrastructure, manufacturing, and clean energy projects, they want to ensure women can snag those jobs too.
To be able to move into a career track like that, which is higher paying, better benefits, opportunity to join a union.
To do that, Pat Chun-Hoon says the Biden administration is pushing manufacturing companies to offer expansive child care programs because studies show access to affordable child care continues to be a barrier for women pursuing employment.
So we've talked to women all across the country who have been in pre-apprenticeship programs or apprenticeship programs and are interested in careers in the trades. And uniformly, they'll say it is very hard to find non-standard hour childcare.
Labor statistics show female employment is back to pre-pandemic levels.
But the unemployment rate for Black women is still consistently and persistently significantly higher than it is for white women.
The Women's Bureau says by prioritizing childcare, they hope this administration can bridge that gap. In Washington, Raquel Martin.
All right, good evening, everyone. Outside right now in D.C. is clear and 37 degrees as we look at the Kennedy Center there behind me. And yeah, it's a cold night out there. Certainly need to bundle up if you have to get up early for your Monday, get out to work before the sun rises. It is going to be chilly. As a matter of fact, you can see the cold extending all the way down into the Carolinas where freeze warnings are issued there. All right, how about the plan your evening ahead planner? Here we go, 11, 2, and 5 a.m. Pick your hour and let's see the temperatures here. Mid-30s around 11, upper 20s at 2, mid-20s by 5 a.m. And again, clear to mostly clear skies is going to be seen across the area. What about tomorrow morning? Obviously, with what you just saw, you would expect, obviously, it to be cold outside. And sure enough, as I step outside, it will be a cold morning here. Light winds and temperatures that are going to be in the teens and 20s. Teens basically in higher elevations out towards I-81, the Blue Ridge Mountains and west of there. But even though it's cold now, we're going to get rid of that cold. We're going to just toss it out the window and bring in the above normal temperatures here, as we've been seeing a lot of this winter. Thursday and Friday, we're looking at 70s at D.C., Dulles, Hagerstown, Winchester, and Martinsburg. But does it come close to any records? No, not really. As you'll see, a lot of these places that hold records on the March 23rd and March 24th were at least around 80 degrees or warmer than that. So no, I don't expect that to be the case. But needless to say, we're certainly going to be quite warm towards the end of the week. Annalisa.